Hey everybody! So today we're going to be doing a background and a picture for, well, Halloween, more or less, in the creative journal. So I picked a place to put it. It's not necessarily the first page, but it's close to it. And I am contemplating where I'm going to put my focus at. I want to do a double page, but I don't have, it's a really large book and I don't have that kind of mentality yet to come up with what I'm going to do. So I am contemplating my choices here. And I just took out some of my Jane Davenport crayon type. They're water soluble. But here's the thing. Even though if I put ink or water on top of them, they're not going to completely blend backwards. So I'm using blues and purples and teal. It's sort of like my go-to colors that I actually like. I'm going to speed this up as we go along. I'm just going to talk you through the first part. You can find timestamps in the bottom in the show more section if you want to go through, because it is a long video. I did speed up a few portions of this, except for doing the background. That's sort of where I'm going to focus on it. I'm also going to add that there are certain things that I do. If you are curious about the product or you want to know more about it, just give me a comment and I'll try to get back to you. If we've gone years and I haven't gotten back to you and you've asked a question, I apologize. I don't have that many subscribers, so I usually see when someone gives me a comment or something. So, which would be nice if you did that, if you like the stuff that's in here. So see, we're adding some water to this, and it's not really moving it, moving the paint as much as I wanted it to. Probably a bigger brush would have worked better if I did that. And maybe if I had a smaller place that I was putting this on. But I'm just playing. This is the whole thing. I'm just playing, getting the creativity to move through. I have no idea where I'm going at this point. I do know that I wanted a background, and I wanted the background light enough for me to draw on top of it. That said, I'm limited. You have to be very careful if you're using something. This, I believe it dries and then you can write on top of it. I would check on that. Don't take my word for it. So it's pretty much just getting everything to flow together and sort of like spin art without the spinning. Yeah, there it is. And once that's done, I'm going to pick a, what do you call them? A stencil. And some of my gel medium is it's been a while since I've opened the jars, so it takes me some time. And during this whole process, I have to let everything dry. And sometimes I've had to let it, this has taken me 2 days to do this whole sheet, this whole thing. So now I'm trying to use the water and mushing it about, trying to get everything to flow a little better. It did what it did. It didn't make me as happy. It kind of took more off than I wanted. So there it is. It is what it is. What can I tell you? But we're going to make it better. We're going to move on and do more. It gets better, I think, in my opinion. So no stories today. I'm just doing a background. I've decided I want to tell you stories because I think that's going to help with having to muddle through this. I guess I've said in other videos, I don't teach art. I teach that you need to do stuff. You need to keep your body going, keep your mind going. And if doing things like mixed media, watercolors, acrylic paints, drawing, stitching, whatever, if that makes you happy, just keep doing it. Just no matter what it looks like, keep at it, because it'll just get better. I know you're probably waiting for me to get better. All right, so this is a Tim Holtz stencil that I have. And that, I just love the look of that. So we got to let this dry. And so this is my gel medium, and I struggled opening this jar. Let me tell you, this was horrible. And so looking inside, I'm like, oh, it's not too bad, but I didn't want it to be, sometimes I think this gel medium dries clear, and I didn't want that. So I added some acrylic paint to it. And the acrylic paint sort of separated. I don't know if that's good or bad. I'm not sure. I forgot what I bought this for. Oh, I did. I know what I did. I did some paintings on windows. I think I posted those in my Instagram or Pinterest or something. So I mixed everything up and I put it in, and it's going to be a little funky, to be honest with you. It's going to look really funky at first, but I don't care. I'm going for it. You know, what am I supposed to do? I have it. I'm going to try it. It is what it is. So off we go. And here it is. Doesn't it look pretty good, right? And then I'm going to do as much of the edging as I can, and then that's going to have to dry. It's just, I love this design. A nice big one would be nice, because then it'd be easier. This is so messy. All my shirts get horrible. And I try to take it off with some Dawn. Doesn't always work. I know my husband points out, you know, you have something on there. I'm like, yeah, they're there. I should probably wear an apron when I do this, but you got to go when it happens, right? So everything's dried, and now I'm just taking the papers crinkle and they kind of flip up, and I want them to lay flat, so I'm just taking them back. So everything's nice and dry, and look at that design. I love that design. It looks great. So I'm thinking about what I'm going to do. I've sped up the last two videos in case you didn't notice. I initially decide, well, I know I'm not going to be able to draw on it like this, and then I'm going to try to use some watercolors to do the background. But as you see, I have yeah, it's not going to go anywhere. I mean, it looks great, but it's not going to go anywhere. It's not enough to do what I needed to do. And I didn't want to sit there and have to do that. So, and these are Jane Davenport watercolors. I decide to get my Jane Davenport inks, and I think they came out a little better. So I'm just like, this isn't doing it. Although I like the way the colors came out. So I'm just going to let it dry and come back with some of my inks. And then that's when things start to go better. I really do love how it came out. Maybe a little too much inks, but it is what it is. I overdo it. I overindulge. So now when I get to this point, and this is something I've done in another video where I have done the ink blot where you get the negative on the other side, because you have the raised the raised squiggly lines from the matte medium, and then they have the imprint on the other page. So I'm going to fold this page over, and it really, I just love the way it came out. And I'm trying to keep from getting things to spill out all over the place, but you know, to no avail. And thank goodness I use purples a lot in my stuff. Look at that. Isn't that absolutely phenomenal? So trying to absorb it through, and you can almost see it coming through the page. I just love how it came out. I really do. I hope you do. So we're almost to a point where all you have to do is sit and watch. And remember, I said there's timestamps in the bottom. And this is going to dry. I'm going to let this dry out, and then I will come back to it and start drying. And I will give you a little music to follow along with. And if not, you just turn on mute. You'll be fine. See, look at that. Isn't that great? I mean, they are really two different pictures, but I sort of wanted it to, now it's going to dry. There it is, nice and dry. It actually is going to connect in a way. So enjoy. Please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't. And if you have, I want to say thank you so very much for being a subscriber. It is really, it really warms my heart to know that there are people out there who think enough, because subscriptions are on YouTube help the creators. And if you didn't know that, let me just explain. It does, and it helps. You will get more content, not necessarily only my kind of content, but other creators who do similar things, whether you really realize that or not. So we'll see you later. Thank you, and I'll see you at my next one, I hope. And ta-ta for now.